channel. So today's video is a review of the Chanel 19 bag. So I've owned this bag for approximately half a year at this point, and I've used it quite a bit. So in this video, I'm going to let you guys know all the pros and cons of this bag. I'm going to show you guys mod shots as well as what fits in here. And I'm also going to let you guys know my opinion on what's the staying power of this bag. Is it still worth it to get this bag in 2023? So if you're interested in purchasing this bag, then keep on watching this video for everything you need to know. So for the Chanel 19 that I have, I've seen this size referred to as either the small size or the medium size. Essentially, it's the smallest size of this bag that Chanel makes without venturing into wallet on chain territory. And this bag is made out of this sort of like treated lambskin, so you still do get that smooth texture on the leather, but it's way more durable than your typical very delicate lambskin is. So on the exterior of this bag, you do get these kind of like big, exaggerated, slightly puffy quilts. On the back, you do have this one pocket over here that is secured by a magnetic button. So if you snap it closed, it's actually quite a strong button and it's a little bit hard to open sometimes. And then on the front over here, you do have this turn lock closure, and what makes this CC logo on the turn lock different is that it does have that leather woven through it instead of like the solid gold hardware that's on the classic flap, for example. And on the inside of the bag, it is lined in fabric. You do have this one zippered pocket. And this bag does come with a shoulder strap as well as the top handle. So you do have this one top handle here that doesn't have the leather woven through it. And then you also have this longer shoulder strap that does have the leather going all throughout it. And then you also have this extra leather piece at the very top, so it's more comfortable on your shoulder. And what is also very unique about this bag is that it is not a single color of metal. This is actually a mixed metal hardware bag. So you do have 3 different colors to the metal on this bag. And mainly Chanel makes it in 2 combinations. So either it has this kind of like H gold on the CC logo at the front with the corresponding hardware all throughout the strap, or they also make this in a silver hardware. So those are the main options when it comes to hardware for this bag. And this bag is quite different from a lot of the other flat bags that Chanel sells because this is way less structured than their classic flap. For example, it does have a slouchier look to it, which makes it really well suited for casual looks. But if you do want this to be a little bit more structured to hold its shape a bit better, you can definitely get a bag organizer for this. However, I haven't bought a bag organizer for this bag. I typically don't use any bag organizers for my bag, but even for this one, even though it is, you know, like less structured than most of my other bags, I opted not to get one because the way that I need to use this bag, the stuff that I need to put in it, there is a certain configuration that I'll get to later on in the what fits in this bag portion that if I had a bag organizer, it won't be able to fit this much in there. So I opted not to have one, but when I store this bag away, I definitely do make sure that I stuff it and that it's not just like sitting there with all this weight from the chain handle as well as the strap just kind of like making it sag downwards. So what I do is I actually use a hand towel and I fold it up and put it in there. And I find that that's like the perfect size of stuffing for this bag. So if you're looking for something that you already have at home to keep this bag stuffed, then that's definitely something that is really handy to use. Now I would say that this bag is probably most similar in size to the Jumbo Classic Flap, but in my opinion, this is nowhere near as bulky because it is kind of like a softer, unstructured shape. It really molds to your body so well when you're carrying it crossbody, which is definitely something that I would not be able to do with the Jumbo Classic Flap, for example. This just looks so great worn, however, whether it's hand carry on the crook of my arm, on my shoulder, or crossbody. I'll show some mod shots here to show you guys what it looks like carried all these different ways. But I just think that this is a very versatile bag for that reason, and it's also really easy to swap between holding it by the top handle or by the longer shoulder strap. So what I usually do is, because I don't like the strap kind of like hanging so far down, and typically I do prefer removable shoulder straps, but this one isn't so bad. So what I usually do is I hang the shoulder strap around the handle like this when I'm holding it either handheld or the crook of my arm. So it's really easy to switch back and forth between using the shoulder strap or the top handle. And as a side note, I also really like how this looks, but you do have these little gaps on the sides which kind of peek out outside of the flap. So it's really easy to just store the chain right through those little openings and gaps on the side and just keep the chain inside the bag if you don't want to have it hanging on the outside. But it does take up quite a bit of space in your bag. It's not as easy to just store away in there like I do with a lot of my chain straps that kind of just like bend to whatever shape you need it to be. And I love how this is just a little bit bigger than a lot of my other bags, which makes it a really easy grab and go bag for me. I don't have to, you know, like pick and choose what I carry in there. This actually can fit a full-size wallet as well as my big cosmetic pouch too. So right now I'm actually going to jump into a clip that I filmed of what fits in this bag. So I currently have packed in here what I would typically carry in this bag, maybe around 85% of the time that I'm using it. So this is what it looks like on the inside. As you can see, there is still some space on top if you want to put a little bit more in here, but this is basically what I need to carry with me on an everyday basis. So I have a pair of sunglasses here, I have a pack of tissues, I have a bottle of hand sanitizer, and then this is the small Kirigami pouch, which I have my keys inside. And then I also have the medium Kirigami pouch, and this is pretty similar in size to the mini pochette, also from Louis Vuitton, if that's an SLG you have in your collection. So this has all of my cosmetics in it, like lipstick, lotion, a mirror, and whatnot. And then I also have a card holder in here with cards and cash in it, and then I have my phone, and this is the last thing inside the bag. So I typically do like to carry my phone inside, but if you prefer to make use of the back pocket right here, this phone, which is the iPhone 13, this also fits in the back pocket. So this is basically what I would say comfortably fits in this bag, and like I said, this is what I carry in here, maybe around 85% of the time that I'm using it, but sometimes I do like to carry bigger SLGs with me. So for example, instead of this, I might want to use my cosmetic pouch, and instead of using a card holder, I would sometimes carry my full-size wallet in here. And if I put this stuff in here, the only thing that really doesn't fit is the sunglasses. And it is kind of like a tighter fit with all of this stuff in here, but I do want to show you guys what it looks like with all of this stuff inside the bag. So first inside goes the cosmetic pouch, and then the other big item is the wallet, and then the hand sanitizer would fit in right here. And then these two items, the small Kirigami and then this pack of tissues, would just kind of go on top right here, and it does work out. So this is what it looks like on the inside, and for a configuration like this, I do end up putting my phone in the back pocket, and like I mentioned, that still does fit in there. Let me just show you guys what it looks like with this in the back pocket. So yeah, all of the stuff does fit in here, but it is a bit of a tighter fit. So the bag is decently heavier than the previous configuration as such, but this is actually a lot of capacity in this bag. So if you've watched a lot of my other bag review videos in the past, then you've probably noticed that a common theme with me is I'm not super big on using SLGs inside my bags. Yes, I probably have a card holder in there and maybe like another extra pouch for either my keys or some of my like cosmetics, but usually that's about it. That's partially because I use smaller bags, but even aside from that, I just like having everything kind of like out there in the open for me to grab as I need it. But the thing with this bag, as I mentioned just a little bit earlier, and this is going to jump into the cons of this bag, I did mention that there are these little gaps on the sides of the bag where the flap doesn't kind of like go over it. And those gaps are pretty big. Like my car key can slip through there, like a lipstick or something can also slip through there. So for this bag, I actually do keep like mostly everything inside SLGs because I just don't want it falling out. I've had like those two items, my lipstick as well as my car keys, fall through this crack. Luckily, it hasn't been like out in the streets where it's gone forever. It was just in my car, but that's still something that I want to avoid happening. And another way that I use this bag and pack this bag differently to any of my other bags is typically I do keep my phone inside my bag, but if I have my full-size wallet as well as my cosmetic pouch in here, it's easier and makes more sense to keep it on the outside. So that's what I do. If I have less stuff in this bag, then I still keep it inside the bag because that's what I'm used to. But here's the thing. So a lot of people say, I feel like this is more of a common opinion, is that people love having these like exterior pockets on their bag for things like their phone or receipts or like some type of like Metro card or Subway card or something like that. People like having this outer pocket here. I, however, am not used to having anything back here. So whenever I am grabbing for my phone and it's back there, I always end up just opening the flap, looking inside, realizing that my phone is not there, and then having to go into the back to get it. And also, even my phone, which is the iPhone 13, so it's not like the biggest phone out there. It's not like a great fit inside this pocket in the sense that like, yes, it fits in there from like a length perspective sideways, fine, but the magnetic closure doesn't really close. You have to really force your phone in there and then you can kind of close the magnet afterwards. So I do feel that you need that magnet to close properly for your items in this back pocket to be secure. And yeah, sometimes that's just not the case. And another thing is if you're carrying this bag for extended periods of time with the top handle, it's not the most comfortable because this is just like a metal chain. But like I said, this chain strap for your shoulder is very handy and this is actually quite comfortable. This leather piece definitely does help for the shoulder strap. So you do have options, but if you're looking for like a bigger top handle bag that you mainly carry top handled, I don't think this will be the best option for you. And then I also wanted to touch on the wear and tear of this bag. Now, as I mentioned earlier, this is made out of some type of treated lambskin, so the leather overall is quite durable, but I am concerned about potential wear and tear on the leather, on the logo specifically, because that's where the turn lock is, and as you're turning it, it does kind of rub over the leather a little bit. So currently, after 6 months of not like daily use, but I would say like decently consistent use, I haven't seen any wear and tear on it just yet, but that is something to keep in mind that, you know, opening and closing this over time, I feel like there should probably be some type of like rubbing and wear on the leather on that logo, but yeah. Other than that, this is still a really pretty bag, and overall I do really love this, especially in this color, because I think this color with this gold hardware in this style of bag is just the absolute perfect combination. So now I want to talk a little bit about my thoughts on this bag's staying power. So this bag is called the Chanel 19 because it was first released in 2019 and it is now 2023. So it has been around for like 4 years. And when it first came out, it was definitely more of a trendier look and shape with the puffiness and kind of like a little bit like slouchy look that this bag has. So it's been 4 years and trends of course come and go, but even in 2023 I feel like that kind of like pillowy shape is still very much a thing in the luxury space. But even aside from that, I think this bag is, like I mentioned, it's very different to the other flap bags that Chanel offers. So even though I don't think this bag is classic and timeless in the same way that the classic flap and the 2.55 reissue are, I still think this is going to be a staple in Chanel's roster of handbags for a long time, because if customers are looking for like a more casual Chanel bag, then this is really the best option. And not to mention, this was like Karl Lagerfeld's last designs at Chanel, so definitely there is a history to this bag. He was a very important creative director to Chanel, so there definitely is like an added weight to this bag specifically because of its ties to Karl Lagerfeld. So I definitely do think that in 2023 this is definitely a very good purchase to make if you're looking for this type of bag. Make sure you love the bag, but I think, yeah, like I mentioned, this is a pretty safe bet. So that is it for my review of the Chanel 19 bag, and I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, found it helpful and informative if you're considering this bag. And if you like this video, please do give it a thumbs up and let me know in the comments down below if you have any other questions about this bag that I haven't answered in this video. I'll definitely get back to you guys. And do also let me know your thoughts regarding like the staying power and longevity of this bag too. Do you agree with me or disagree? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do consider subscribing for new videos every single week on luxury and fashion. And I'll leave 2 videos on the screen for you to watch next. So I'll see you very soon. Bye for now.